Hey everybody, we are back, the Hurricane HQ, for our 11 a.m. tropical update for July 30th, 2020. And today's news is potential Tropical Cyclone 9 becomes a tropical storm officially. So make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss the newest videos again. And here's our comment of the day. It's from Heinz Cherney. It says, great information and enjoyed watching. Thank you for that comment. And if anyone wants their comment featured on the video, just leave a comment on this video or any other video on the channel. And as long as it's clean and relates to the Weather Channel or anything in the video, then I'll put it on our next live stream. Also, in the very bottom right corner, we have rolled out, you could probably see our logo on computer. I'm not sure if it rolled out on mobile yet, but it's our little logo that looks like this. And if you push it on computer, it should be a subscribe button. Also, we are rolling out with something new called Space News by the Weekly Liftoff. And the Weekly Liftoff was our previous channel until we discontinued it, but it's still there, and we'll now be using it for space news. And sorry about the horrible image, but it's good enough. And our news is Perseverance rover launches to Mars, and it will be almost a half a year by the time it gets there. It'll get to Mars by February 2021. So now let's take a look at our current Atlantic basin and Gulf basin. But here's Isaias, our newly formed tropical storm. And down here is a new area to watch. It's, I believe, Invest 93L. And it has a 20% chance of formation in the next 48 hours. And same in the next 5 days, low 20%. Although it may raise, it might get a little bit more organized over the next few days. We'll have to watch this, but all eyes right now are on Isaias. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Here is our warnings cone, and wow, this thing changed from yesterday. Yesterday, the warnings cone showed it would be going into Georgia, maybe even South Carolina, Alabama. Now it's tilted right north, up to New Jersey and Long Island area, and the entire East Coast is under this cone. And if you're on the East Coast, you have to watch out, because this storm can possibly become a hurricane as it nears the New Jersey, Long Island area. Right here, the current wind speed is 70 mile per hour sustained winds, and a little bit ahead of that, most likely, it's possible that it could gain 4 miles per hour and become a Category 1 hurricane. And even if it doesn't develop officially into a hurricane, it will be very close. Conditions will be very similar to a Category 1, only 4 miles per hour away from Category 1 status as it gets there. And anyone up there, you have to worry, because this could be a quite strong storm, most likely not major, but we'll take a look at our spaghetti models and even intensity guidance model for the next few days. Now, all the way over here, as you can see, 8 a.m. Tuesday, and probably all the way over here, 8 p.m. Tuesday, is when this will get hit. And basically all of Tuesday, New Jersey, and the rest of this area over here will get hit. Virginia, also maybe early hours of Tuesday from early hours of Monday, and as you can see, anywhere in time here, it's Monday to Tuesday. It's going to be a very fast-moving storm. It might slow down a little bit as it nears the northeast area, but we'll have to watch it anyway. No matter what happens, we have to watch it, because this may be a very strong storm for the north, but let's actually come down to the south and see what's going on. So as you can see down here, a lot of these areas are under a tropical storm warning. That's the blue. Almost all of the Dominican Republic is under one warning. Puerto Rico and a few of these islands that I'm not going to waste time mentioning. Central and southern Bahamas are under a watch, or a warning, and northern Bahamas is under a watch in the yellow. So I expect that Florida, either later today to tomorrow, will be getting those tropical storm watches in. And as it continues to move, we might even get those tropical storm warnings in as it comes up the coast. Right now, there is no hurricane wind extent, but there is quite a large bubble here of tropical storm wind extent. And if you're wondering, this entire area with the dots is the extended 4 to 5 day forecast. This is a very fast-moving storm, so we'll have to watch this very carefully no matter what happens. Here's our arrival times of winds, and we'll go to most likely. And probably by here, you'll get Monday 8 p.m., you'll get those tropical storm force winds, and right now it's a tropical storm. Can it become a hurricane up here? Yes. Will it? We'll have to watch, because it definitely can, but we'll definitely have to see what happens. And sorry about the background noise, it just seems like lawnmowers are moving, so sorry about the background noise. And for me, I can really hear it. I'll lower the mic just a little bit, but sorry about that background noise. Here's our wind speed probabilities. And as you can see, this entire area here is 90 to 100% chance of tropical storm force winds. And that increases all the way up here to by North Carolina. And these are the possibilities. And no, it's not weakening as it's coming up. It actually has a higher chance of strengthening from around northern Florida to Long Island, because of those extra warm waters filled by the Gulf Stream, less wind shear, more moist air. This entire East Coast is where it may develop into a hurricane, Category 1, and Category 2, I say, is less likely, but it's completely possible. I'm not going to rule it out yet. So we'll have to watch this very carefully. Here's wind speed probabilities for 50 knot, and it extends up, but it may increase as it moves up the coast. And hurricane wind speed probability is quite low, but it's possible to see those hurricane force winds. So now we're going to take a look at our windy forecast, and as you can see right here, the storm is just north of the Dominican Republic, and wow, the Dominican Republic's mountains are really messing up this circulation, although we don't expect it to really destroy it. The storm, it will most likely continue, maybe it's just a slight weakening because of these mountains. It's really stalling out, but once it gets over by the Bahamas, there is barely any mountains here. So it's like a clear path right up the East Coast to develop into a hurricane. Let's see what kind of wind speeds we get, and this is the ECMWF model, and we're getting up to 45 mile per hour winds. Now let's check the GFS model. The GFS is showing 47, and I would say we have a max of like 50 mile per hour winds around here. And here's the NAM, but it doesn't really show much. I don't really like the NAM. It doesn't really show much, but once it gets up a little by Friday, we can start seeing these winds. So these are for Friday. And it looks like we have some really strong winds, 62 mile per hour. And I could say we probably have maximum sustained winds of around 70 by now. And once we get by here, wow, the storm moves really fast. And the NAM is really showing it go below Florida and die off here. Although the ECMWIF and the GFS both show it head up the coast. And I believe it's more likely for it to head up the coast now and affect the east. The official forecast, the GFS, the European, even a few of the Canadian show it heading up the east coast. So I believe it's most likely going to head up that way. But is it possible for it to enter the Gulf? Yes. And really, Florida, when it does get over Florida, it could weaken a little bit. But once it gets into the ocean, again, it will most likely continue to increase in strength. Now I'm just going to use this. I'm going to turn on wind gusts so you can see a bit better, but I'm going to show you where the storm's roughly going to go. And let's just go Friday, 6 p.m., 3 p.m., Saturday, and right here's the storm. Here's Monday, Tuesday. And by Tuesday, we'll be starting to get that storm for the northeast. And we can start seeing the storm around here. And I believe this entire coastal area around here, and even down here, this entire east coast has some real possibilities for even a hurricane. Actually, let's see if we can see hurricane force winds here. Although we shouldn't really be using this map, because the map doesn't even show. They could barely show tropical or even depression force. Let's go to GFS model, and GFS does show tropical storm force winds at least. But to be honest, I think we just have to watch this really carefully, because these models, you can't really use these for intensity that well. They don't show intensity that well. We have to use official models for that. And here at the Hurricane HQ, we'll be making several updates a day when new things come out. And let's go take a look at our models here. Here are some of our spaghetti models, and all of them take it up the coast. These ones stay relatively out of the northeast. They really go to the side. But here is our European and world model, and they stay off the coast, but definitely North Carolina area and Florida, you're in for this storm. And let's take a look at our GFS model. GFS shows it staying really close to the coast and possibly some major impacts there. As you can see, our pressure really does dive down, and possibly even a Cat 1 could be possible around the Jersey Shore, Long Island, Delaware, and possibly even Massachusetts and Rhode Island area. And here's our Canadian model, and the Canadian one's a mess, but a few of them do head all along the East Coast, and a lot of them actually go right into land, so I wouldn't really use that as true evidence that it's going to go that way. And now this model is actually showing a lot more of these models entering Category 1 status and getting really close to Cat 1. Like, a lot of them take it really close. Let's take a look at our 00Z, our 06Z, and most of the 06Z does take it into Category 1 status. 12Z, and here's our 18Z. 18Z, only one model takes it into Category 4 status. I don't know where that would go, but I guess it's possible. I'm not going to rule anything out. And I just saw an improvement in the model. It looks like it tracked slightly closer to the coast in the last hour, because I could see more inland is in this cone, and more of the coastal areas, like all the way into Pennsylvania, you might be in the cone depending on where you are. So we'll definitely have to watch and see where the eye of this storm actually heads. And if you don't know, the cone really only shows where the eye can go. And we'll have to watch this very carefully and to see what happens. So we'll definitely have to watch this. Let's take a look at some more models here. Here is our sea surface temperatures, and you can see warmer waters up the coast, filled by the Gulf Stream that moves all the way up here. Here's our sea surface temperature anomalies. It's actually quite warm up here. This entire area is actually quite warm, and we'll have to watch this because these are a little bit above average for temperatures. Here's our wind shear amounts, and like I said earlier, once the storm gets past the Bahamas, then it's basically a straight path of very low amounts of wind shear over here for it to grow. And again, sorry about the background noise. And here was the storm when it was affecting Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic area. Not many warnings are up though. It's like a radar type thing. Here's our Atlantic Basin image. And here's our storm right now. I remember when it was actually over here. That was quite interesting. When it was over here, and now suddenly it's like right over here over the Dominican Republic area. And this actually shows a lot of strengthening of the storm. It's like really developing into something around here. You can't really see an eye on this model anymore, but you could definitely see some rapid intensifying here. And we'll definitely have to watch this. And this cold front around here, this could have saved the East Coast if only it came a little later. It could have pushed the storm away. And here's our atmospheric moisture levels. And as you can see, it's very moist here where the storm is. And once it moves past this area of drier air, it'll have some really moist air over here for developing. This is where I possibly think it could assist it in developing into a tropical or a stronger tropical storm or even a hurricane. And we'll have to watch that very carefully. Here's our Saharan dust layer, our forecast. And you can see it's Saharan dust in this area around over here. This might slightly affect it, but usually Saharan dust doesn't do too much against these storms. And it's amazing because there's so many things working against this storm, and it's still getting stronger. And here's our tropical intensity index. And around here, like this key says, it's very unfavorable. But once it gets past there, all the way over here, we could see a very clean slate for the storm to just intensify as it moves up the north or the southeast to the northeast, and it's very highly favorable in this area once it gets past this highly unfavorable area right here. And here's our tracks for August, since we're like 2 days away, 1 to 2 days away, however you like to look at the math, but away from August. And by the time it really starts to impact, it will probably be in August already. And as you can see, this is our track, and it's very more likely to head this way. Even the blue, it's likely to hit the coast, so it's definitely possible for the coast to get even a stronger storm than we originally thought. And if you're wondering, here's our Saffir-Simpson's hurricane wind scale. It's really small, but you can kind of see that if we can get to 74 mile per hour winds, then we are officially a Category 1 hurricane. And if we can get above this 73 mark, that would be a hurricane. And the storm might try and do that, but I think it's less likely for it to even hit in the 90s. And one showed it from up to a 130 mile per hour storm. I think that's extremely unlikely, but I'm not going to rule it out as a complete fake forecast. And that basically wraps up this part. Now we're going to take a look at our Hurricane HQ forecast. And this is our new cone. This was updated this morning. And as you can see, we don't really expect it to go into the Gulf anymore. We really shortened it to the East Coast impacts. We think it may stay off the coast a bit, but we think a lot of impacts will occur in the North Carolina area, South Carolina, Virginia, and it might affect the Northeast area, but we really extend the cone out, so it might head out to sea, and weaken. And here's our new tracks. It can either go through the Bahamas and continue in the water, or head into Florida and then head back out and meet up with this other model to head up the East Coast. But we'll have to see if it stays a little off the shore or heads into the northeast, southeast area. Let's see. Alright, now we're going to take a look at our model one more time, our cone. And we'll have an update to you guys at least by 7 p.m. Sorry about last night. That was a little late, but I had to get the models ready. And as you can see, it's still the same as earlier, but you can definitely have those impacts all around the area, and expect a lot of changing and maneuvering with the cone. You can stay updated. Just go to NOAA.gov, nhc.noaa.gov to see these models. It's free, and of course it's free, but everyone can view them. It's not limited to the channel or anything. I'm just using the models and explaining what they show. And right now it's showing right here it's a tropical storm, and right here we're probably going to get up to 70 miles per hour in sustained winds. And like I was saying, it may develop in this small area above here. But if you're wondering where it's going to head, well, basically where it can head is up here. It can continue straight up almost and affect Jersey Shore, Long Island, and all the areas up there. Or it could probably just continue on this track a little bit out to sea, or it could just continue this way. It can go anywhere, and this area right here is really uncertain. Really, the part that's more certain is down here, the 3-day forecast. This is really certain. It's mostly going to head in this path, but the full core forecast, don't use this to just make decisions and say, oh no, we're going to get a major tropical storm, we have to watch out. Because these things change literally every hour, and we're expecting a new Hurricane Hunter plane to have new data, and once that gets in, this forecast cone will probably change. And our headquarters area is just probably entering the cone right now. So we'll have to watch this very closely. And again, let's take a look at our comment of the day. And I would like to remind everybody, if you would like to be featured on our next video, just comment at the end of our video. Say whatever you would like, just make it clean, and of course make it weather related or related to anything in this video, and you might get put on the video. And also, we're taking a look at our Perseverance rover launches to Mars. In case everyone didn't see that in the beginning, this news is brought to you by the Weekly Liftoff, Space News, Star Wars, Star Trek, and more. It's another channel. I think they stopped making videos, but they are sponsoring our space news, and that's also new. And I hope everybody enjoyed the new video quality. This video quality is in full HD. Our old live streams were in 720 or 780p. Sorry. So this one should be a little bit of an improvement. If it's not on HD, just head to the bottom of your screen. There should be like 3 dots, I believe. Push that, and then there'll be an option to change the video quality, and you can select which one you want. Well, thank you all for watching, and we'll have to watch this very carefully. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss another video or update again. Thank you for watching.